Hi, girls. Hello. I'm gonna give it a second here so people can come in. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Marnie. Hello. How's everybody feeling? Hi. Hello. It's good to be back. Just wanted to bring you some TLC. How is everybody feeling? I'm just gonna give it a few seconds here so people can come in and the energy can be a little bit more quiet so we can start. Hi, Susanna. Hello, 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 everybody. How you're all feeling? How are things with all of you? It's been a minute since I've been here, huh? Awesome. I can imagine. Everything is great and awesome and peachy. Hi, Brad. Hoi, Marika. Hi, Anna. Hi, Josh. My love. Hi, May. Hello, hello, hello. So I'm just... Hi, Travis. Nicole. Just gonna give it a second here. How is everybody feeling? Hi, Brad. Julianne. Lots of development on the twin flame aspects of things. Yes, yes there is. Better, yes. It's great except for the traffic today. Be grateful, because then you can, if you're stuck in traffic, you can actually listen to me. So that's a blessing. Olá, Paulo. Ciao, Sarah. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, my beautiful people. I have missed you so much. I have been on an adventure to get everything working again since I came back from holiday. So, hi, Clark. Hello. Hey, Alyssa. Melissa. Okay. There's a lot of people coming in, so I'm just gonna give it a minute. Hi, Gretchen, good morning. Hey, Linda. Okay. Whew, there's a lot of people coming in, so I'm just gonna give it a second before I start. I just wanted to check. My mom is here as well. Beijinhos, mãe, te amo. Okay, so I just wanted to bring you a little bit of love today to explain a little bit of this crazy energies that we've been feeling lately. Why are things happening the way they are, and how we can use that to our own benefit. Because you know me, I always turn poison into remedy. Anything you throw at me, I'll turn it into something positive. Because we all miss you. I miss you too, Felicia. I miss you all greatly. So I was traveling for 6 weeks during the summer. It was really hard for me to keep up with work and live sessions and everything. Something's got to give. So I just, I'm sorry. I got a call in the meantime. And I think this kind of paused. Okay. Now, let's talk about the summer. I was writing about it. Hi, Simona. I was writing about the energies of the summer, right? Hi, Vicky. Hi, my love. So it kind of felt like this summer, if you went through this major summer purge. No, I'm not in Spain anymore. I wasn't in Spain, I was in Portugal, but I'm back in Holland now. So I'm back home, wherever that is. So I was talking about how this summer felt so heavy for all of us. Such a big purge, right? It kind of felt like we were dragged through the mud. It felt very, very heavy to walk through that energy and kind of like step out of it even, right? And the the biggest thing that was shown to us during the summer, and if it wasn't shown, then just be aware that it's being presented to you, were mostly aspects of our ego, right? The ugly side of us, the dark side of us, the one that is the one that was hidden for such a long time in our behavior. And at least for me, I was able to look back and identify a lot of aspects of ego in situations where I thought that I was actually being loving. And that's kind of tough when we come to terms with the fact that we weren't being unconditionally loving, we're still parts of our ego were attached to it, right? So I don't share exactly, you're right. Summer, it means the energy, but summer's still in Morocco all seasons. Well, that's good for you. That's good for you. Okay, so aspects of ego that are being presented to us. At least for me, and as a pattern of the sessions that I've been having lately, and also a pattern of my the postcards from the angels that I send on a weekly and bi-weekly basis, had a lot of this element of aspects of ego that were being shown to us throughout. And I'm going to ignore here the comments now for a second, otherwise it's a bit overwhelming and I lose track of what I'm saying. But a lot of those elements were shown to us for us to understand and integrate our own growth, right? If you've been following me for a while, or even if you had a session with me, you understand that I always bring a lot of grounded advice, right? I do honor the guidance that I receive from my divine team, from my angels, from God, from the Ascended Masters. But unless we come into a space where we can fully understand the guidance that is being presented to us, and we can use it down here for the benefit of our own journey, then that wisdom is just not being applied in the right places, right? It's all beautiful to know what's happening in 5D, in the spirit world. It's all beautiful to be connected there. But my reality right now is not up there. It's down here, right? This is where I am living in this lifetime. After you cross over, you have literally an eternity to be spirit. But you only have this lifetime now in front of you to be human. And we all came down here to enjoy this lifetime as much as possible, right? We came equipped with the right tools, with access to the spirit world, to access to higher wisdom and higher guidance to be applied down here. And so we should be using it in a way that benefits our own journey, and that empowers us in a way where we can teach, we can learn, we can teach, and we can heal others, right? So it's all really beautiful that we know everything that is happening on a 5D level, but it's also important that we bring that energy down here and apply it for our own benefit, right? So I noticed as a pattern of my sessions that there's kind of a separation in the collective at the moment, where some people hi Julianne, I'll go back to the comments in a bit so I don't lose track of you. Hi Rachel. So I've noticed that there's a little bit of a separation in the collective at the moment, in terms of unions, in terms of the twin flame journey, in terms of faith, you know. And so I do see that some part, a fraction of the collective has stepped into a place where they stopped believing, they stopped seeing themselves as part of the wave that is going to come into unions, and they have disconnected a little bit from their own journey. Then there's a fraction of the collective that is fully going into union now, getting all the signs and all the synchronicities, and even getting contact from their twins who have been in a period of no contact for a very long time. And then there's a fraction that is full on soul mission and not so much focused on their own unions, right? I relate myself with with that wave. But there's a little bit of a separation now throughout the collective, where people are in an energy that it's a little bit heavier, less positive. I don't want to say negative, but less positive in regards to their own union, in regards to their own soul mission, and in regards to their own journey. And then there's a fraction of the twins really focused on coming into union, which is a process that it's not easy at all. And I've seen that firsthand because I'm doing progressive work with a lot of the twins coming into union, and some of them already in union trying to balance out those energies, right? And more than anything today, I wanted to bring everything together into a point where we can see not our differences, but what unites us together, okay? It's not time for us to look at who is doing what, who am I resonating with now or not. It's not time to look at the differences. It's time to look at what unites us all together, right? And that is faith and unconditional love. It doesn't matter if people are not resonating with you at the moment. You obviously need to, to get together with your tribe, but there is no separation. That's the most important thing, is that we keep on this journey without any judgment whatsoever for the people who don't want to concentrate on their twin flame journey at the moment, which is completely normal process that we all go through. And we also need to support the ones who are indeed coming into union, because they are leading the way towards more unions to happen, and they're anchoring the highest template of love possible. And we need to show respect for the ones who are doing soul mission and need our support as well, right? As I was saying, we have a whole eternity to be spirit, but we only have this lifetime to be human, and we came down here to make a difference. We came down here to make a change. And I was discussing this with someone else the other day, but can you imagine how empowered humanity could be if we had people working from their full capacity of their psychic abilities and mediumship abilities, and working in positions as a judge, as a lawyer, as a police officer, as as a doctor, being able to detect illnesses. Imagine what it would be to have humanity empowered by their own psychic abilities. So we are here to create that change. We are here to make a difference. So more than anything, I want you all today to think about what unites us, which is unconditional love and light and faith and our connection with spirit, rather than what is dividing us in terms of our own personal opinions and our own personal path, okay? So we're all here. We all have different roles. We all have different tasks. Believe that even the people who are not resonating with you at the moment, they are doing their own role. So we don't need to compare ourselves with anybody else. We are unique within our own spiritual DNA, and we all come with a very specific task down here, okay? So union is so important now in the collective, more than looking and judging one another for the differences that are separating us, okay? So that's really important. Now, what I do feel that it's happening, and I went through the same experience, that's why, I'm sharing with all of you, but there is a very specific part of the journey where you start to disconnect from the feeling of union, from even wanting it, right? Just because it is it's very easy to understand what is going on in terms of what you see, what you feel, what you sense, what you hear in 5D, but then it becomes really hard to actually see the physicality of things happening in front of you, right? And I was faced with that. I was faced with that reality as well. At some point, I had to think, who is my twin? You know, who is this man I don't have enough information about? I was just having a call with one of my patrons explaining this. You need to have that soul breaking point where you think like, I love the essence of this person, but what do I know about them? How are they being a reflection of their true essence down here? You know, how are their behavior supporting what I know them to be in their own true essence, right? And this creates a little bit of disruption and a little bit of disconnection from the journey itself, right? And this needs to... I apologize. I have someone insistently calling me, so I need to give him a call afterwards. Okay. Some are warriors and some are healers. Some are both. Yeah, I love knowing that. Absolutely. Mitra, sister, I'm on the plane right now coming back from the Burning Man. Oh my God. I miss you, sister. We need to catch up. Okay. So, as I was saying, it's hard, right? Because we rely on what we see, what we experience in 5D, and then we come down here and like, where the hell is the person that I saw up there, right? Because it's not being presented to you in physicality. And so this creates a little bit of disruption, and this creates a little bit of disconnection from the journey itself, because it's exhausting, right? Now, what we need to understand and what we need to face and have the rawness and the realness to admit is that the twin flame journey is extremely toxic, unhealthy, self-destructive, and for a big part of the beginning of the journey, right? It's extremely unhealthy and self-destructive. We think that we're doing unconditional love when really we're not. We're wanting things that it's just connected with the material, or we're just being too spiritual and being a pushover, right? So there's a big chunk of the twin flame journey that it's extremely unhealthy and it's toxic, right? And so we need to go through that experience of having almost a wake-up call and understanding, where am I being obsessive about this? How is this being an unhealthy situation in my life? How is this not benefiting my soul growth, my personal growth, right? How is this journey keeping me stuck in a place where I am not developing myself because I'm just laser focused on coming into physical union with someone, right? Because believe me, we didn't come down here to chase ass. I say this so often. It doesn't matter how much you love your twin, you didn't come down here to chase ass. That's for sure. Okay? There's a bigger picture than that. And so when we get to this point of understanding how obsessive and unhealthy this whole thing has been for you, then you know that you have outgrown the place where you've been sitting for a while, and that it is time to move forward. It's time to do something different. It's time to elevate yourself, right? It's time to kill a little bit more of ego that is still with you and just go higher, right? And this doesn't mean that you're giving up on your union, that you're giving up on your journey, that you're giving up on your mission. It just means that you have a realization moment where you understand that it is unhealthy for you to stay where you are. That there is no evolution and no progress where you are staying. It's very simple. I went through that. And it's a painful process of experiencing the sadness of having to leave things behind. Some of those things are part of dreams that you have kept for a very long time. Ideas that you thought would, happen that didn't. I can share a very personal case that happened with me. I I had plans of doing something with my twin while I was in union. That didn't happen. And I came to a place where I decided to do them myself, you know, and it was very liberating because I knew that I was moving forward, but more than that was also painful because I knew that I was giving up on a dream that I entertained for a while, right? So there's a lot of your past expectations that are dying now, you know, thank God they are. Because if you look back, you will be able to identify that some of your dreams and expectations were based on ego, were based on needs that don't belong to your soul growth, right? They were just lasered focus on your immediate environment, right? I always compare this, moving past another level of toxic stuff right now. Absolutely, so much toxicity, yeah. Yeah, and you do need to leave it behind. I was going to go to California with what I thought was my twin flame for 3 years. We were going to live off the grid together. Yeah, I'll touch on that, the thinking of the twin flame. Okay, going back. So when you do understand that some of your dreams and expectations that you had in the past were still attached to an ego aspect of yourself that was wanting just things that are for, I call it instant gratification or immediate satisfaction. So they're not things that are part of your soul growth and your soul ambition. They're just part of temporary needs that your physical form has, right? That's connected with money, that's connected with the idea of a physical union, the marriage, you know, the whole fairy tale. I always say this because I see so many people saying that things didn't happen the way I thought, and you know, I thought I was going to have a fairy tale. And so often I tell them, you have something that it's more precious than a fairy tale. You're not going to sit down and say that you know, you had a beautiful love, that you never had a fight and everything went perfect and you got married and you had kids and all of that. You have a fairy tale that it says, we decided to stay together in spite of everything that happened to us individually and together, right? We managed to conquer all of that and come into a space where we decided to stay together in spite of everything else. So that's the most beautiful fairy tale, you know, that's a kick-ass fairy tale. But there's that element of dreams dying. And so that's where the sadness is coming. That's where the resentment, the regret, even the self-judgment of thinking, now looking back at some situations and thinking, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? You know, this didn't come from love. From which part of me did this come from, right? And so that disconnection from what used to be and from what didn't come to be needs to happen. Because the needs and the wants and the desires and the dreams that you had at a specific point of your journey were in alignment with your vibration at that point. At that point they were. I'm not diminishing your dreams in any way. I had mine as well. I did a funeral last week. But you know what I mean? At some point, you need to understand that you are wanting things that are below your vibration. You are wanting less than what you're supposed to receive. And so things are not coming to you because they're not supposed to come like that, right? So there's a need for that funeral. And I always say that it's very painful, you know, because you need to mourn someone who is still alive but not present in your life. And you need to do the funeral of things that never happened, right? So it's an unborn dream, right? It's something that didn't happen to you, but you're going to have to give up of it, right? And that's exactly where you have that soul breaking point where you have to give up. And I always explain this. Giving up doesn't mean that you give up on your union or give up on your soul mission or give up on your journey. It just means that you give up. Literally, give up. Give it to God, give it to Spirit, give it to the universe, you know? Admit that you don't have the ability to fix everything by yourself, that you need help, that you're not alone, right? And so that comes from giving up of what you planned out for you or that you try to control to have in your life, to embrace what it is really supposed to come to you, but according to your own vibration today, not according to who you were 2 years ago when you met your twin, or not even 1 year ago while you were purging like a mofo, right? Today. Imagine that, this is the perfect analogy. Imagine that you buy a house and the house is in shambles and you decide to invest some money to make a renovation, you know, to renovate everything, the kitchen, bathrooms, floor, the ceiling, all of it, right? By the time you're going to sell the house, you're going to sell it for a higher price than the one you paid for it, right? Because you invested in internal work that was done in the house, and that has value, that has worth. The same thing needs to happen with you along your journey. Your price needs to be updated. Your template of love and relationships needs to be updated constantly, as often as possible. As often as possible, according to your new price, according to your new self-worth and self-value and self-respect, right? And so I always say that updating all your templates needs to happen as often as possible, so you can actually start receiving what is supposed to come for you, right? The more you lower your price, the more you get frustrated for not getting the things that you thought you need, right? I've experienced this along my own journey. So I know how painful that funeral can be, but it is needed so you can step into new energy that is coming to you, right? And step into what is really waiting for you in terms of your mission. Let me just catch up here. Hard, but it becomes much easier to do. Yeah. Moving in process as time goes by. Yeah. Because it comes from when you need to look at everything that you've done before. Obviously, there's always an element of self-judgment where you're going to think, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? And I was explaining this to someone the other day. The only reason why, because people keep on asking me, should I reach out to my twin? Should I reach out to my twin? The only reason why my price just went up. Exactly. Update your price. The reason why, and I'm going to say we because I include myself in that because I did that for a while. The only reason why we keep going back into a space of wanting to reach out, it's because we don't believe that we have created a good enough memory in them to be reminded for. Let that sink in. And this is like a crime scene, right? You already committed a crime. It's already bad enough. They are very bloody with all the messages and emails and whatever else we send. But then we think they might not understand that it was me. So let me go back into the crime scene and drop another knife with blood. And, you know, by the way, I'll just leave some footprints as well. So that's the only reason why we keep on going back to the crime scene, just to make sure that we leave enough evidence to be found. Again, you know, just in case you have forgotten, I'm still here. And we go there and we drop another knife like, oh, I'm sure he's going to find me this time, you know. So it's the only reason why we keep on going back. And why do we do that? Because we have lack of self-awareness, self-worth, self-respect, and self-value. That's the only reason why. If you had enough trust on your journey, and you understand that I am enough, I did enough, I did more than enough sometimes. I am enough, I did enough, there's nothing else that I need to do here. So let me stop here for a moment to be self-aware of my own journey, rather than keep going back to the same place to repeat the same behavior and being stagnant in an energy that doesn't bring me any growth, any personal growth whatsoever, right? So think about that the next time you think about reaching out to your twin. And I'm not saying you should or you should not. That is a personal decision. I shared why I stopped doing it, because it didn't fit in my life priorities. But think about it next time you think, should I reach out to my twin? Think, what is my intention here? Is it because I really have something to express that is going to add value to this connection? Or am I trying to get validation for my feelings, for my emotions? Am I trying to get my needs met through some sort of response that I expect or desire from them, right? Because that's important. And that's connected with your own self-worth and your self-respect and your self-value, right? So if you do believe that you have left a significant memory in them for the experience that you both had together, then you don't need to go back and, drop knives and footprints anymore. You can just step into faith and understand, I've done enough. So it's time for me to step into my own self-awareness and basically mind my own business, while they do whatever they have to do as well. So it is a moment here for us to almost have an appraisal, a review on our journey, and understand, okay, well, this happened, I can't change it. It doesn't take me anywhere to look back, but I can change my behavior going forward. And I can make sure that going forward, I am releasing more aspects of my ego, leaving them behind, to do something that it's soul-focused, that it's heart-based, right? That I'm making healthy decisions for myself. And fear to lose him for good, most likely. Yeah, Christina. Yeah. But listen, if we are trying to get someone to be in our lives just because we're afraid of losing them, then it's just, then it's not a healthy relationship, right? We come from fear. I am sorry. Who are you and what do you do, darling? Humayun, I think that would be for another day. If you don't know who I am, I would just suggest that you go and read my pages and understand. I don't have time to explain that now. And who I am is so complicated to explain just in a couple of seconds. I walked away. They were not healthy for me. I'd rather be alone and work on my path. Yeah, but that realization is a very personal journey, right? And it needs to happen from a place of, bye, Humayun, enjoy your evening. And the self-awareness to understand what is binding us to them, what keeps us going there. And we keep on going back until we understand why we do that, why we keep repeating the same pattern over and over again, for some weird reason, right? And let me just take care of one small thing here. Okay. So that comes from a place of self-awareness, of you understanding, why do I keep on repeating the same pattern over and over again, right? And it's almost like you need to understand, if this keeps on happening to me, then I am the common denominator, right? I am the X on this equation. So let me try to understand, why am I doing this and how I can stop it, right? How is this not being healthy for me? I don't know who you are, but you are just spot on in what you are saying. So I'm following you on Facebook. Oh, Danny, that's cute. Thank you, honey. Yeah, but it's just a matter of understanding, because I always explain this. If you are not ready to be in separation with your twin, you are not ready to be in union with them. Believe me. Because union happens when both twins have created a solid identity and individuality, to the point where you can be two powerhouses, and when you come together, then you add value to one another's experience, right? It's not going to be a game of demanding, asking, taking, or expecting anything from one another, because you're already complete within yourself. I don't believe when people say that as a twin flame you are incomplete until you come into union. This is just my truth. If it resonates with you, great, have it with a cup of tea. If it doesn't, throw it away. I do believe that for a big chunk of the journey, you feel incomplete until you come into union with self, with yourself, right? After that, and again, from my own journey, I didn't feel incomplete anymore. I found my soul mission. I found my path. I found my passion in learning and teaching and developing myself and staying in faith and, you know, being of service to God. And I didn't feel incomplete anymore. But for me, was my connection with spirit that filled the void that I had in me and that I so desperately look for in other people and places and situations in my whole life. To be honest, when I found my twin, not even him was able to make me feel complete until I found myself, like literally when I found the self within me, right? And when I found myself and was able to integrate it fully, then I didn't feel incomplete anymore. So I don't believe when people say that as a twin flame, you need to feel incomplete for the rest of your life until you come into union. I don't believe that. I don't feel in any way incomplete in my life. Obviously, I experience the same journey as all of you. It doesn't make me, the fact that I do the work that I do, it doesn't make me immune to any of those purges and feelings and overwhelming emotions. I'm human just like all of you, and I'm spirit just like all of you. But it's just a matter of understanding that the pain is just your teacher. The pain is just your teacher. Your pain is not your enemy. Your pain is just teaching you a lesson. So rather than ignoring, because some people say that you're not supposed to be sad and you're not supposed to experience lower emotions, and it's all part of the journey, and sadness is part of the journey. So when I do feel sad, I sit down with a notebook and I take notes. I learn my lesson, right? That's pain is a teacher for me. Pain is what helps me to create more tenderness, more softness, to soften my ego, right? That's the only reason pain happens to you. And it happens to you to humble you, you know. I was talking about this the other day, but if you didn't experience pain along your journey, you would probably be an asshole, arrogant in your highest power, and not being able to have humility and empathy towards others, right? So the pain comes to make you humble, to make you connect with other people who go through the same. I'm just going to catch up with my comments and then I'm going to share something with all of you. Danny, you have a beautiful aura. You have lived a lot of life and it's brought you here to share your experience, and that's beautiful. Thank you, Danny. That's really sweet of you. Still trying to figure out what I'm passionate about. No joke. Roseanne, let's connect. I'll take you there. Exactly. God will lead you. You just have to give it to him, let him guide you, and you will feel the Holy Spirit in you. Yeah, listen to it. If a person feels fear, I would think that would be a sign that you're not ready to reach out for your twin flame. Brad, I agree 100% with you. Absolutely. So I asked for help with that from my higher self. Sadness is learning. Yes. Where have you been? Danny, I've been here for a while. I've been here for a while. Then let me share something else with you, because and this goes to, especially to someone who needs an extra dose of faith today, or needs direction, or needs purpose, because I have found along my own journey that I lost faith many times, and that's okay. I stopped judging myself for those things that I used to feel. And when I would lose faith, I would just sit down and go through the process of finding it again. And believe me, you will find it 10 times stronger if necessary. So it's okay to stop believing. It's okay to lose your faith. It's okay to have a crisis. It's okay to want to give up and let everything go. It's okay to want to set fire to the whole thing and just disappear. It's okay. All of that is normal. And it's okay to not be okay once in a while. You didn't come down here to be perfect. You came down here to be enlightened, right? And to expand your level of awareness and consciousness and apply it in the best way possible. So, as I was saying, along my journey, I also felt, sometimes I would lose my faith as well. So for a very long time, and a very long time ago, I had the perception that I had to be in union to be able to help all of you to come into union as well. I thought that I was entitled to it. So funny and naive. I thought that I needed it. I thought that I couldn't help other twins come into union unless I was in union, and I could show them that it can be done, and then you would have faith, and then you would believe, and then you would do everything to get there as well. And I felt so entitled to it. I thought like I deserve this, and people deserve to see that this is, something that everybody can achieve. Sweet little child. And it took me a very long, not a very long time, but it took me a while to get out of that energy and to come into a space where I understood that I help others by being on the same boat as them. So I'm not in the island screaming at them like, this direction, here, right? I'm not doing that. I'm on the same boat as all of you, okay? The only difference is once in a while, I get a shout out from upstairs saying, go this direction, go that direction, turn here, turn left, turn right. And that's the only thing that I need to do, is follow the guidance that I receive and come down here, sit on the boat with all of you, and goddammit, we're going to row to the island, right? But I'm not above anybody else. I'm not behind anybody else. I'm just side by side with all of you. And we're all on the same boat. And it took me a very long time to understand that I needed to be on that journey of losing faith and then finding it again, and then coming back and giving faith to all of you. And so for a while we have you have a wrong perception of what this journey should be, right? Hey Kathy. And we think that because I'm a twin flame, because I'm spiritual, I am entitled to have things in my life, or I'm entitled to have an easier journey, or, it should be easier for me. I should have union by now. I did so much healing. I did so much. And we focus so much on those tiny, shitty details that don't matter at all for your soul, because your soul doesn't give a damn. For your soul, there's no separation. Your soul is down here to enjoy, to have fun, to make a difference, to change the world, right? Your soul is not down here to chase ass. It's not, And then we kind of feed off the idea that we need to get something back out of people. and that love is supposed to be reciprocated. Love is something that you give. You don't need to gain anything out of giving love. Love is not, it's not a trading, it's not a currency that you trade. Love is what you're made of. And if you're not giving it away without any expectation of getting whatsoever back, go check your intentions again, because you're just here to be yourself and you are love. So if you just came down here to be what you are, which is love, with gaining nothing in return, but to expand love in every person that crosses your path every day, then you need to check yourself again, okay? Because we so think that, I had this conversation with someone today, and I was telling her, people are like, hey, what did you do today? Well, I didn't text him because, I'm like, why didn't you text him? Well, because he didn't text me and he was supposed to text me. I'm like, but like, do you text because it's a self-expression of your own love? Or do you, or like, is this an exchange? Or, you know, I'll give you 2 paragraphs and you give me 2 back? Or, I mean, that's not unconditional. That is actually very conditional. And I see so many people, and I say this without an inch of judgment, because I'm not immune to these things, you know. I have blood in my veins, and, you know, sometimes it boils as well. But I see so many people always expecting something back. Obviously, it's good to have your boundaries. Obviously, it's healthy. You're not going to just, you know, put love into toxic situations that are not being beneficial for your soul growth. But God damn it, if you love someone, let them know. Let them know. You know, it's your own self-expression. You don't need to gain anything back. You just need to be love and give love and create love. And, you know, that's the only thing, without any expectations back. You know, without any expectations back. I posted something very interesting today. Let me just catch up here. Let me go back. Love it. We waste so much time chasing shit instead of living our purpose. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God, you are right about love. It's inside of you. Yeah. It's a gift that you give. Yeah. You don't give gifts to people in the expectation of receiving back. Well, some people do, but you know, you give gifts because you want to offer something to someone. And you just give because it's your nature is to give. Just love everyone, no matter what. A smile can change a day. A hug can change everything. Danny, so true. I also resonate with what Janet saw yesterday, that we need to find joy next to love. I haven't watched that yet. I haven't catched up with everything online yet. Unconditional isn't easy either. Nope. It's no picnic. It's humbling. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, find joy. Okay. I still need to go check and catch up with a lot of stuff. My twin once told me that, he told me he may not respond, but he always smiles. Yeah. So, again, think about the intention in everything that you do. If you are still doing something with the expectation of creating, I don't want to use the word manipulate, a reaction out of someone, then it's most likely to backfire on you. So, you know, it's not easy to be genuine, but it's too expensive to not be yourself. That's my motto in this lifetime. So I try to be as genuine as possible. People who know and have interacted with me, I'm like this 24/7. It doesn't change for me if the camera is on or off, if I'm on the phone, video, in person, crossing with me on the street. This is the version that I decided to use for everybody. So I was posting something very interesting today, because last night I was watching a documentary, and for some weird reason I've been attracted to stuff that has to do with death row and the project Innocent something something. And you know, I've been connected with a lot of that, and I advise you all to watch that if you want to practice your own intuition and your psychic skills. I love watching those TV shows of detectives and stuff like that, because I use my intuition to try to check if the person is innocent or not. I mean, go figure, I'm a weirdo, but I digress. Yesterday I was watching a documentary called The Fear of 13. It's on Netflix if anybody wants to have a look. And it's about this guy who is on death row. And no spoiler alerts here. But at some point, he explains very beautifully the role of a woman in a man's life. And so he's explaining that until a man is fully loved and unconditionally loved by a woman, he won't have known enough about himself. And he was saying that a woman has the ability to show him his virtues so he can further develop them, and that she has the ability to show him things that a mirror could not show him, right? And so he's talking about how we rely on the reflection of a mirror for a big part of our lives, and we believe the stories we tell ourselves. We believe on the opinions that other people have about us, and we kind of define our identity and personality based on all of those perceptions and assumptions, right? Whether it is our internal talk or the validation from external sources. And he was explaining that until a woman fully loves you, then you don't know yourself fully as well, right? Because only a woman who's in love can show you aspects of yourself that you otherwise won't have access to. I think the same happens for women dealing with men, right? The same happens to us as well. We discover aspects of ourselves that we otherwise wouldn't have access to, right? We will only have our own perception of that broken mirror, as I like to call it. But it was so beautiful to watch. And I have felt over the last few days that the energy of the Divine Masculine Collective, it's so beautiful at the moment. It's very soft, it's very gentle, it's very calm, it's very centered, it's beautiful, it's very relaxed. And so it's been very interesting to work with masculine energies lately, and very emotional, but very beautiful. And I think that is causing for the Divine Feminines to calm down their energy a little bit more. But it's almost like we panic for everything, right? We panic because we have too much communication, then we panic because we don't have enough communication. So when we have too much, we doubt what's going on here because now there's too much communication. Then we don't hear anything. We go like, what's wrong? Because I haven't heard anything in a week. And it's so important. I always say there are moments for action and moments for resting. And we also need to have, just like we have a period during the night where we need to sleep and recharge our bodies for the next day, it's the same thing as our journey. There are moments where action is needed, and then moments where rest is needed, right? Same thing as going to the gym. You don't go to the gym every day. You have one day in between where you rest, and your muscles are developing while you rest. So don't take moments of being too quiet along your journey where nothing is happening, because that's when a lot of things are happening in the background that you don't fully have access to, right? So you need, again, go back to hope, go back to faith, and trust everything is happening the way it is supposed to happen. The only thing I need to do is when the universe calls me in the morning, I need to raise my arm and say that I'm present, I'm here, you know, look at my light, I'm here, I'm ready, bring it on, right? This is the address where you send all the blessings to. Here I am, right? So practice that daily exercise of waking up and being fully present in your life. Like, I've mentioned this a while back, but like, what is the first thing that you do when you wake up? Do you grab your phone to check the clock, or do you grab your phone to check emails and messages? Or do you like take a minute while still in bed to call in your higher self, to call in your spirit into your body and start walking with purpose, right? Saying, I'm here, I'm present, I'm ready. How can I be of service? How can I help? Help me helping others. How can I help you help me helping others, right? Build that chain of service, of love coming down. Be that anchor, right? Okay, let me go back. Manipulate is the right word. Yeah, Roseanne, I didn't want to use it. And I try to play the victim once in a while unconsciously. My twin will not fall for it, and it irritates me. Yeah, I know, honey, we'll all do that. I work with the elderly, the dementia unit, and I get hugs all the time. Oh, that's so beautiful. And I get smacked around. But I love them so much, and seeing them smile makes my day. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Danny, that's so beautiful. That would be the perfect job for my mom. My mom loves that. I'm sitting here on the porch while the wind blows through the trees, feeling your energy and sending my angel love messages. Love is pouring for me. Yes, absolutely. Hannah, I just entered the room. Hopefully you can catch up, or we'll watch the replay. I won't be here much long because it's really late for me here, and I still need to call someone who's been calling me while I'm live. Hopefully that's where I am right now. Yeah, just be present. It's not that hard. You know, allow yourself to go through the motions without judgment. If you're sad, be sad. Sit down, watch a sad movie, eat ice cream, get a box of tissues and cry it out. For God's sake, you know, do it. If you're feeling happy, go share that with other people. Allow yourself to experience everything. And remember, you have a whole eternity to be spirit. Okay? But you only have this lifetime to experience being human. So go skydiving, go on a roller coaster, find interesting, listen to loud music, dance in the rain, go outside without shoes. I mean, I could stay here all night naming stuff that you can only do and experience and sense and feel and enjoy while you're human. Okay? So take that going forward. Wake up with purpose. When you wake up in the morning, call in your higher self, integrate it, you know. And just when you put your feet on the floor first thing in the morning, walk with purpose. Like, I'm here, I'm present, God damn it, let's do this. It's another day, I'm grateful, I'm still here. I'm still here. And you're still here in spite of and not regardless of. You have literally survived every single shitty thing that happened to you in your life. And you have never, ever before been closer from your soul mission and from your life purpose than what you are today. Today, it's the closest you have ever been. And tomorrow will be another day where you are closer than ever. So if that's not a goddamn blessing that you can be grateful for every morning, I don't know what is. We're still here. We're still living. We still have the opportunity to experience so many things. So I'm not saying give up on your union in any way. I'm just saying enjoy your separation in every way possible. I always say this. So what's going on here? Such a beautiful soul. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Donnie. That's really sweet. Just trying to wake up in the morning. Yeah, we all have those days. So good. Okay, then I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys have any questions, I can stick around for another 5 minutes, and then I'm just going to set you free as a bird so you can go and be awesome out there and share the love without any expectation of receiving back, with just the expectation of being of service and spreading the light and the love as much as possible, anywhere possible, anytime possible. I think I didn't miss any comments, so if you guys don't have anything else, I am gonna liberate you. I'm gonna give you freedom. Hi, Jody. And if you just came in, go back and go get a drink and watch it again, because it's worth it. I will go to your Facebook and learn more about you. Thank you so much for what you have shared. You're welcome, Danny. There's a bunch of stuff. I have a blog and a Patreon page and a YouTube channel and gazillion other things that I should keep up to date, and I don't. So can't stay awake. Go for it, Rachel. Thank you for this. I love you. I emailed you. Okay, Reina, I'm gonna check it now. Thank you for always being the beautiful you that you are. Thank you, Beth. I love you, sister. You're welcome, Leslie. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. You're welcome, Fatima. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. I am wishing you an amazing week, and for all of you out there, wherever you are, and I am sending you so much love and so many blessings straight from my heart into yours, and I am praying that you stay safe and protected within the power of your own heart. Big love to all of you, and see you soon.